Why do we do this? Why, when presented with the opportunity to escape the stress of normal life, our jobs, our chores, the cherished but constant work of being part of a community, why do we choose to make things harder for ourselves? Beautiful views help, but we could be relaxing on the beach. We could be driving to most of these places.
But instead, we've intentionally sought out a steep and difficult route, strapped a bunch of camping gear and food to a hunk of steel and rubber, and spent days grinding uphill through heat waves and rain.
And there's nowhere we'd rather be. Why?
I mean, the easy answer is the downhill.
Unfortunately, the nature of bikepacking means that the time spent grinding uphill always outweighs those blissful downhill flights, usually by an order of magnitude.
So there must be more to it than that. While we figure it out, we are really going to enjoy that downhill.
We're working on our last big climb of the trip. Seems like we've been climbing for days, but soon all that hard work is going to be rewarded. And from what we can tell on the map, we're going to be spending more time going downhill than uphill, which I am grateful for. What goes up must come down eventually, right? We only have like 13 kilometers until Pontresina, which is where we are planning to sleep tomorrow. So we've spent most of the afternoon here in this beautiful place having a nap, and we're probably gonna cook a little bit of dinner here.
Hello. I'm back.
How was your walk?
That was wonderful. You ready for dinner?
Well, good morning. We were not planning on rain.
But the weather does what it wants, so we're hiding right now for a few more minutes, hoping it stops.
Sun's out.
Guns out. Sorry.
So we're heading down to a gondola hut. We're gonna try and see if we can ride it. But the question is, we don't really have anywhere to store our bikes while we're on it, so if they'll let us store our bikes, then maybe we can ride this thing up the mountain. We don't really know anything about this. We don't know if you need reservations or what, but we're gonna go ask. Well, we got our tickets, and
our Ricola.
And our Ricola. Because we're in Switzerland, apparently. And even some nice men let us stash our bikes in the basement in a locked room. So we'll be gone for a couple of hours. And we know that it's all safe. So now we're on the thing. Chris is ready.
Ricola in my mouth.
Your silly little hat.
My silly little hat. My camera around my neck. Let's go see some things. So at the ticket counter, they said it should take about 2.5 hours to walk down. We didn't clarify how exactly to walk down. We have our GPS.
Yeah.
We just don't see exactly the route from here.
I don't know if you can see this, but right here there's, this is supposed to be a permanent snowfield.
They used to ski on it all summer long.
Yeah. But it's been melting so much lately that they have to cover it in the summer so that it's still there for the winter ski season. I believe we go down there. Ready?
All right, let's go.
It's starting to rain a little bit. Should be fine. What?
Come on in, the water's fine. It's frozen.
See, you can ski all summer. When we bought our tickets, we asked if we needed any special equipment for the route down.
She said, oh no, you don't need any poles or axe or...
We need crampons or ice axe. I mean, we're fine right now.
The snow is so soft. We've spent a lot of time navigating in steep snowy mountains, so we're pretty comfortable here. But usually we find people err on the side of caution and fear-mongering when we ask these questions. So we were honestly a little surprised by the terrain. My turns were a little sloppy.
You're out of practice. You like my camera, baby?
In just a few short months, Hillary will give birth to a video.
We made it finally to the bottom, and now it's time for some lunch.
Yeah.
And then down the hill to our hotel.
Don't walk into the electric fence.
Oh, yeah.
The ethereal glow is not just an illusion, we actually are in heaven.
It's been a perfect day. We went for a hike and we didn't even have to do the uphill. And then we biked on like perfect flowy single track down a beautiful valley. What's the best trail in the world?
This is amazing. We're staying in the Sport Hotel.
Sport Hotel. This is what 224 Swiss francs gets you. Yeah, this is the cheapest hotel room. Honestly, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, and it comes with a great locked bike storage room and a bike wash and a spa. Oh, and free laundry.
Oh yeah,
What?
free laundry.
Now we're relaxing in our robes and watching YouTube. Yep.
Good night.
Good night.
What's my morning? Oh yeah, we felt a little young. Just sitting on my lawn, watching the day go by. Another morning, just another wave to ride. Floating upstream, living in my dreams, so nice. And I keep my cool for you. And I keep my cool for you.
So we're cycling past Silvaplana Lake, which is apparently where the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche spent a lot of time. And when he was sitting next to this lake, one day he came up with the idea of eternal recurrence, which is the idea that history repeats itself even down to the minute details, including the life that you've lived. So you're going to have to repeat your life over and over for infinity. That's a pretty waterfall.
Oh, look at these heavy truckers.
I don't speak your language.
I don't know.
It's Ramadan.
About it though.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's closed is what he was saying. Please use the detour shown. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, detour. Okay. I'm not gonna be able to do that. Ah, Jesus. Anyway, nobody really knows if he actually believed this or if he just used it as a thought experiment to sort of assess your actions in your life to see if you were living your best life. Repeating this day over and over wouldn't be too bad.
What's my life? Oh yeah, without a little June, without the sunshine, the blue.
Nietzsche house. Is that actually Nietzsche's house?
It actually was Nietzsche's house, as we learned from this nice man who was also really excited to hear about our trip.
Enjoy and
Thank you.
thank you.
He gave us a tip on where to get some lunch and wait out the rainstorm that had been building all afternoon.
I'm gonna make a mess.
The top is really crispy, and in the middle is like pudding, but good.
After all the hard work it took to get up into the Alps, it's a little bit bittersweet to be leaving the higher elevations already. The silver lining is that over the next 10 kilometers or so, it looks like there's a couple of really flowy, hopefully fun sections of switchbacks on the way down. So I'm looking forward to that.
We were just biking on this trail and passed by this family that was bent over the ground collecting something, and we asked them what it was, and they said in Italian they said it was strawberries. So now we're picking strawberries. So we thought we had a plan. We thought we were gonna go down to this town and stay in a campground, but it is a little bit less crowded here than we expected. So now we're not sure. We just got a bunch of water and we might end up finding a place to wild camp, but we'll see.
We'll keep you in the loop.
It's quite steep though. Well, It got way too steep. There's no camping to be had here. Also, there's like some sort of blasting happening across the valley that we weren't sure if it was shooting, so we're just gonna probably go sleep in a campground.
I got lost.
So we ended up in this campground, and it's not as much of a parking lot underneath a highway as most European campgrounds are, but there does happen to be a shooting range like right across the valley. Seems unfortunate for a...
It is pretty non-stop.
It is. I don't know if you can hear it. She said it ends at 8.
It stopped right on schedule at 8 o'clock, which made our camp dinner of local sausage and pasta much more enjoyable.
We had so many slug friends.
Well, we're getting ready to start the last full day of cycling on this adventure. We had planned the trip as a loop, so we were planning to camp in one of the same campgrounds that we stayed in earlier in the trip, but the weather forecast has been kind of variable.
And so we started looking for other options. And one of the things that we've always wanted to try out is staying in an agriturismo, which is basically like an Italian farm stay. And we noticed that there was one on the route that was a good price and was available. So we're excited to see what that's like. But first, we have a few kilometers of downhill. Yep, that is a castle.
The Palazzo Castlemure was built in 1723 and renovated in the 1850s when it was bought by the son of a Marseille pastry shop owner. After becoming a wealthy man and gaining the title of baron, he returned to his mother's ancestral village and restored the castle. We heard some version of this story a few times in our journey down the valley. Local families moved away to seek their fortunes in major European cities, afterwards returning to invest in their local community.
Unfortunately, the castle's main floors weren't open for exploring today, but the basement was.
This is clearly an excellent party location. The base of a castle. But they also have bathrooms. Just like normal looking bathrooms. It feels kind of like being in a subway. We're stopping for a quick lunch because we found this cute little cafe. We just couldn't not. But first, an affogato. Dessert first kind of day.
Why not? Celebrating our last full day of cycling.
It's too short. The kitchen was closed, so it's just cake and ice cream for us today.
You said dessert first, it's also dessert second kind of day.
What is it?
Chestnut cake?
Never had chestnut cake.
It's good. It's sweet. It's very moist.
Grass biking. Oh God.
As we got further and further down the valley, things had been feeling more Italian. That is, except the prices.
Finally, we arrived back at the Italian border, where everything cost about a third as much as in Switzerland.
Whoa, that's the thing. Well-preserved example of a community wine press. Hey Chris, where are we?
We are in a community wine press, a system big enough to press the whole region's wine.
Wow. It's just a whole tree.
This platform is where you put all your grapes that will eventually be squeezed into grape juice that will drain into this reservoir. The squeezing is done by raising and then lowering this giant screw that actually lifts an entire tree so that it can be lowered onto the grapes.
We stopped in this little bar, which the bars are the things that are open around lunchtime. And the guy said he could make us a sandwich, and it was the best sandwich that we've had.
It's a real sandwich. It's real delicious.
We're Americans and we really like mayonnaise or some sort of sauce. And that doesn't, you don't usually get that on a sandwich in Italy. Wow. It had lettuce and tomato and bresaola, which is this dried beef that they have around here, and mozzarella on this like dark bread that was so good. And I could have eaten like 4 of them and then not moved all day. But now we're gonna go see an old church, the oldest in this valley. It's from the 11th century. So there it is. We're almost at our hotel for the night, the farm stay, and the landscape is definitely taking a turn from alpine pastureland to wide open cornfields and hay. I pooped out a hay bale.
It was very full.
But the mountains are still really pretty. I'm excited to get to where we're staying tonight. So I'm excited to see what this is going to be like. Well,
It's a beautiful place.
it's a little awkward,
Yeah.
mostly because we don't really know how this works. Ciao. I'm Hillary. Agriturismo?
Sì,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We have.
prenotato con Booking?
Yes.
Yes.
Sì.
Ok,
Okay.
allora venite.
Grazie. Sì, inglese. We arrived. They were great. They gave us some water. They told us we were crazy. And then, eventually we were like, maybe we could get into a room.
See where to put our stuff.
And they're like, okay. And then they showed us the room. Here's our room.
Welcome. Bed feels fine.
It's nice. It's clean. Little bathroom. And the best part, even though there's no air conditioning, there are 2 fans, which is something we haven't had.
Yeah, this is the first time in Italy that anyone has provided us with fans.
Yeah.
So,
I think we're gonna be
definitely
fine.
points for that.
Yeah. But we're gonna have dinner here tonight, so we'll see how it goes. So I have this I don't know what it is. I think I might be reacting to my sunscreen and it burns. I think we need
A shower?
Yeah, we're getting a little ragged at the end of our trip.
Cheers.
Are you happy we stayed here?
Yes. Working out.
There are a lot of kids running around and a dog. It's just nice. Feels like being in a home. I like it.
Calling an agriturismo a farm stay doesn't tell the whole story.
After World War II, family-run farms were on hard times, and farmers were moving to the cities to make ends meet. This meant Italy was losing large amounts of farmland to development, threatening both its food supply as well as its world-famous food traditions.
In 1985, the government passed a law that provided financial support for working farms that hosted travelers. Because of the support, agriturismi are strictly regulated, and in general, a certain percentage of the food has to come from the property or from nearby.
It's very cheesy.
Very cheesy. Cheese made here by Bruno.
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 We drank a little bit of wine.
And champagne.
And champagne. This is more than we normally drink.
The next morning, we cycled a few short kilometers down valley to the train station, where we boarded a train to Milan to catch our flight home the following day.
I know that this video made our trip in the Alps seem idyllic, and honestly, we loved this section. But we've been processing it since we left, trying to understand why we didn't end up with the same sense of nostalgia as our previous adventures.
It's given us a lot more time to talk about why we like traveling by bike. And no, it's not just the downhill. There's a sense of adventure that we didn't feel on these well-groomed trails and in these perfect little towns.
We also realized that a pre-planned route removes some sense of discovery that we enjoy.
Plus, it was a little lonely. We love meeting people, but we rarely found anyone interested in sharing stories. Probably because we were just two of hundreds of other tourists they saw that day.
Don't get us wrong, this is a trip that we will remember for a lifetime.
But we know our future trips will be different, and it's nice to know that about ourselves. We're looking forward to the next one, and we hope you'll join us.